Shout out Near Falls with D Hall's podcast.
Welcome to Near Falls with D Hall. He's talking on bars and how they win it all. Yeah, it's just Near Falls with D Hall. The final takedown, the glory or the fall. So loosen up, step on in, wrestle with the need to win. Talking Near Falls with D Hall. Ready or not, he's here to brawl.
All right, joining me now on the call, I got head coach of Seneca Valley, Mr. Kevin Wildrick. How are you, sir?
Wonderful. Doing great. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
Looking good. I like that hat. Good sport in there. I got a good picture when we were setting up the meeting here today of my man Lewis Knoll with my T-shirt on. I love it, man. Anyone wearing the shirt, especially in the practice room, guys will tell me, oh, it's a practice shirt. Now I'm like, man, that's the best advertising you can give me around other wrestlers, you know?
Yeah, Louis says hi.
I love it. Louis the man. All right, Coach, let's dive into the squad. Last year, let's break down last year and give me this year's offseason program.
Last year we didn't finish where we wanted to be, goal team-wise. They always want to be in the playoffs. We were just a little short of that last year. Graduated a few guys, but not a ton of guys graduated that were, I guess, our bigger contributors. So we brought, most everybody back. Off season wise, we always try to set something up, but I feel like the off season always just goes haywire all of a sudden where everybody's kind of everywhere, and depending on where they're finding their spots to get their extra work in, whether it's gladiators or going to work out at different places, they get that work in. And so my numbers in the off season sometimes are a little bit low, but there is a core little group of guys right now that are getting some work in, which is exciting.
Coach, talk to me about the schedule. Is it the same as last year? Are you tweaking it at all? What's it look like this year?
It is almost identical to last year right now. So starting off with little duels out in West Virginia. After our first dual meet is going to be against West Allegheny, your friends.
Oh, baby. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know that. I haven't even looked at the schedule because I've been so busy, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we hit them on the 3rd of December. It's not the smartest scheduling on my part, just with the fact that, I know they're going to be super good this year, but the other part of being we go to West Virginia on Saturday and the 14 weight classes, and they're all slightly different than our weight classes, and the joys of the plan and getting it all figured out. I need to fix that. I really like the dual meet tournament in the end, and I like wrestling West Day. Just the way I have it, I almost need to flip it. You know what I mean? But
yep.
It is what it is. We'll make it work.
What's it look like after that?
Obviously our section stuff, and then we hit the Panther Classic before Christmas. And then we have the Pine Richmond Duels at the very end of the season. We hit the Brook Classic back out in West Virginia for another individual tournament. So a little bit of variety there. I like a lot of the tournaments that hit the JV and varsity at the same place. Brook does that well. The John Marshall Duels in West Virginia does a ton of JV stuff for our guys. Panther does the JV on Saturday. So it's I like to try to hit, a lot of things to get as many people action as I can.
Love that, Coach. Talk to me about some of your leaders. Who are some of the guys that you are going to be leaning on to help, carry the squad?
In the joys of wrestling, I feel like you have so many different types of leaders. You know what I mean? You got the guys that are quiet and just come in and get their work done. You got the guys that are the more social, or, there we go. And then you
cut out for a second there. You're good.
Yeah. So, with the different variety types of leaders, I think our biggest kind of vocal leader in the room is probably Tommy Wychuck, my returning heavyweight. Zach Hill is always there as a guy that all the other guys look to. I think Riley Smith is developing into that. He's always been so quiet, but he's just been kind of that quiet guy to get his work in. His practice partner, Bryce Barrick-Sazy, is right there with him. And Jimmy Bedoli. I kind of have a big group of guys that are all kind of doing the right stuff, or all just getting the work done, and other younger kids are looking to for that.
Coach, maybe on the other side of the coin, I feel like a lot of wrestling fans may know like a Riley Smith or a Zach Hill. Give me someone that maybe at the end of March that we don't know now, but WPIAL fans are going to know their name by the end of March.
It's a great question. I really want to say Tommy Wycheck. He's been that football guy that's always turned it on in wrestling season and been a part of the team and worked super hard when he's there. Almost every year from freshman year, he's had some sort of ding or nick or something that's kind of slowed him down or taken him out of the season for a little bit. And him staying healthy and him wrestling to his full. I mean, he's such a good athlete. He's a smaller heavyweight or middle-sized heavyweight now. And if he utilizes that and stays within himself, he can be dangerous. And it's just a matter of making that run at the right time for him. And I think he's definitely capable of that.
Coaching staff, who is helping you out this year?
I have the infamous Jake Calvin, as you know well.
Man, love me some Jake Calvin.
Louis Newell helping me out still. Drew Smith, Riley's dad. I didn't realize it till he was telling somebody that asked him, a newer guy that asked him how many years he's been coaching. And he's been with the program for like 16 years, like almost the same amount of time as me, but started, or maybe longer, I guess, but started in the youth program and just all his years through Connor and Riley. And, so he's around and he's a super important part when he gets there for practice each day. He has a lot of knowledge. Junior high wise, Kevin Holman's running that ship down there. I have a gentleman named Mike Conlon, who was a Richland head coach way back in the day. That's a teacher that got back into it. And Hunter Swedish coming fresh out of the W&J world of wrestling, joining our staff to help volunteer this year, which is awesome. And I think a great pickup for us. And he's excited to get in there and start helping out.
I always love talking to you about the coaching staff because you got that Beaver County flavor over there, baby. I love it. I love that stuff. Okay, Coach, talk to me about maybe some boosters, some administrators, some people that maybe don't get the light shed on them, but let's do that right now.
Sure. Rocky Habel, an old Reynolds guy, is my booster president, does a ton for the program and keeps things rolling. Our youth program in general is up to, I think we're like in the 140s this year, 150, something, mid 140s, I think.
That's awesome.
They're bumping. In the next few years, if I don't have more numbers coming to me, it's I'm gonna have to look in the mirror a little bit more to make sure it's still filtering up, right? But Donnie Howard, I don't know if you know that name or remember that name from back in the day. He was
super familiar.
Bethel Park back in the day. I coached at Hopewell for a little bit, but he left teaching for a while and went into gas and oil world and moved out of state. Was that?
Is he a blonde-haired guy?
Yeah.
I think I know
thicker
him.
Dude, like
yeah. Hopo gave it to me. Of course, the Beaver County flavor, baby. I love it.
and he is my new, because he has very little kids that are super into it. My new like level 1, level 2, like beginner level coach. And he is so good with that age. Not that today previous people weren't, but he's just like got an extra special practicality to him that I think is really helping. And has that next group of excited people, his friends and different people that his kids play, little kid soccer with and stuff like that, all kind of coming aboard. So it's fun to see that next, much younger wave come up.
Absolutely. Very cool. Okay, Coach, last couple questions I have for you. Give me some of the goals and expectations you have for this team.
Hey, first goal, for us to grow together and be a lot better at the end of the season than we were at the beginning. And I think one big goal this season is for us to be excited enough that we're interested to do plenty of off-season work to get even better for the next year, where we're looking at finding those extra wrestling things, whether it's club, whether it's off-season tournaments, Virginia Beach duels, NHS, any different thing. Easy measurable goals. Yeah, we want to make the team playoffs. You know what I mean? We want to compete in there with everybody. We want to be in every match that we can be in. Individually, we want to get guys as far as we can. You always want to get a section champ. You always want to get guys placing at WPIALs with the new, regional format. Get somebody out to regionals this year. We haven't done that. We fell short of that last year. Get somebody out there and ultimately, obviously, get somebody to states in place.
Yeah, but man, Riley Smith was part of that 107 class. That sumbitch was tough last year. I was just talking about it with a couple other coaches. I mean, I can't, obviously recency bias is everything, right? But deep wise, that was a loaded class last year.
It was. And I mean, on my team, though, as loaded as that was, he made it one of the deepest guys for me, right? Him and Zach Hill were kind of right there. And Riley was barely 100 pounds last year, and he was in that mix. I think, talk about somebody that maybe people know his name, but him at a full 107 that he will be this year, I think people are going to be. He's going to be a nuisance.
I love that,
and it's going to be fun to see.
That's the first time I've heard that, Coach. I like that one. The nuisance. That's pretty good. I like that. Okay, last couple things I have for you, Coach. Social medias. Sure. How can we follow your squad this year?
We have, what do we have? IG is sv.wrestling. We have, I'm SV Wrestle Coach on X. I was going to say the other name. We do have a TikTok. I don't know what it is, to be honest, off the top of my head, but the manager started a TikTok last year. The rule that it just needed to be clean. They did a pretty good job of that, having some fun. But those are kind of the two main things. Our Facebook is Friends of Seneca Valley Wrestling that anybody can check out.
Okay, Coach. Anything or anyone you want to shout out before I leave you go?
Anyone or anything? My boy, I'll throw it out there to my old high school coach, Bobby Coppola from upstate New York. He got inducted into the New York State Coaches Hall of Fame last year. He's a legend in the area, and he's a guy that was very important to me growing up. And he was that dude that would throw you his keys before practice when somebody wasn't there for you to go pick somebody up, which is pretty bad. It'd be crazy these days, but that was just what we did up there, and went and grabbed everybody up. But he also is responsible for me not knowing the actual names of many moves until I started coaching here and in North Allegheny, and over the years, because it was always his made up version name, partner school that he called something. But yeah,
shout out, Coach. I love that, man. You gotta give the coaches love, man. I was just giving Ronnie Tarquinio love. He was one of my coaches growing up, and I was like, same thing. Just little things like that, man. Where would we be without those type of guys? You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other guy too, I mean, for Seneca, if any Seneca people watch this, as far as the Ken Lockey, who basically did start their Seneca program, and coached it for 33 years, passed away just, not too long ago. And super important, every single alumni that I talk to of him give the reference of much more than a coach. Man, if I could have 5 people talk to me, about how every single person talks about him and how he influenced them, I was like, my job coaching, I did my job. If I could have a couple people even think of me that way. So just throwing him out there too for everybody.
Love that, Coach. Thank you so much for taking some time out and hanging out with me. I can't wait to see you out there this year.
Absolutely, man. Can't wait to see you.
Later, Coach.
See you, buddy.